There we are. What's this hello nonsense?
Man, you were on the dot. 6:30.
Every time. Well, it's 6:31 now, technically. I got in just
6:31. Yeah.
just under the wire.
Well, you're gonna hate this.
Uh, why?
This is gonna be the worst podcast ever
Why?
because I'm at Publix.
Well, it doesn't shock me that you would make plans and then
No.
and then totally disregard them and just say, "Well, I know I said 6:30, but fuck him and everybody else. I'm going to
That's
Publix."
not the truth. Here, the truth is this: the traffic was so bad that it's 6:30, and I'm behind schedule, and I can't push it back because I have a game at 7:30
What does it mean you
to go to.
can't push what back?
Unless you wanted to do the podcast at like 10 o'clock tonight.
Can't push what back? Feeding your fat face for the 10th time today?
There's no fee. I actually stopped to pee because I wasn't going to make it home. The traffic is too
Dude,
bad.
sometimes
So
you gotta
I'm looking out for you
for the
because we could have did the podcast at 10:30, and
for
then
the
you would have been upset about that.
well, for the sake, I'm annoyed we're late as it is. I love how the beginning of every podcast is our dirty laundry. Oh, you're such a piece of shit. Listen, for the
We had a whole argument that everybody has to listen to start.
for the sake of the art, for the art of the craft, whatever you want to call it, you should have just pissed yourself and gone straight home.
I wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, piss yourself.
Listen, you want to do this podcast or not?
Well, we're doing it. We're literally doing it. This is the worst. This
I
is the
don't even
worst
have
2 minutes
anything.
we've even.
I have no stories.
What a
today.
surprise! What a surprise!
I almost messaged you and said you may need to get a guest because I got nothing today. I got nothing.
What a surprise! That like here we are. You know the dates. You know the times. You know that like if you really had to dig down deep to talk about something, you could think for 5 seconds about like something from the last 20 years of work or the 20 years of wrestling or 20 years of dating or anything and come up with something, but instead you just admittedly go, I got nothing. I mean, you know,
I mean,
you're literally the worst podcast partner. You're worse than, this is worse than being no show, no called by Marco. This is worse.
You should have called Marco today and had him come do it.
There was no way. There was no way that was happening.
Why is that?
Because it's like, I don't want to have him in my presence. It just irritates me knowing that he no showed, no called and quit the podcast. It irks me. And then I feel like I'm like making the greatest ask of all time to have him come in to fill in for you. Because he's no longer a part of this. So it's like an extra arm twist, as opposed to like the original arm twist of, like you show up on your agreed upon time and date, like we had all kind of committed to. So this is a disaster. People, let me tell you something, people. This is what I got to deal with in day out. I used to have to deal with it with 2 people. Now I only got 1 fucking headache, but it's a big fucking headache. It's a big fucking headache that's at Publix or fucking I don't even know. It's such a fucking listen, man. And he's always got time to make his TikToks, except with the one that I need him to make. He's always got time to fucking eat and do it and take a piss, but
Look,
I can't even keep a straight face.
Of you just burying me.
I mean, I feel like we did that 2 podcasts ago with me and Bobby.
I mean, and people love it. They love seeing me get buried.
Yeah, I listen. I understand that because I mean, you don't even argue out of these heel positions that you occupy. Like you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy in this, and
I can't. There's no arguing. I can't even argue it.
I know. It's shameful shit. It's shameful shit.
There's no arguing it. Like
that's the name of this podcast. Shameful shit.
Shameful shit. I literally started off saying, I have nothing. But it's so weird. You're sitting here telling this story, and I don't know why this story popped in my head because it has nothing to do with what just happened. But for some reason, as you're just berating me and calling me every name in the book, for some odd reason, I thought about it. I thought about two stories.
Well, he's going to tell those stories in a second. But people did. Let me illustrate. This is Anthony in a nutshell. Like, 10 years ago? Not 10 years ago. Let's say 7 years ago, you got paid a lot of money to put on wrestling at a fucking, at downtown Fort Lauderdale for like Day of the Dead or something like that. Or
Right.
maybe it was like May 5th or something. I don't know which holiday it was. But, first of all, minimal effort. You called like 6 people to show up. You had them wrestle each twice, once regular, and then they put a mask on. Came out again like they were somebody else. And I bet you pocketed like a tremendous amount of money doing that and put in the most minimal amount of effort. This is kind of like that, except there's no payday. Huh?
Do you remember that night?
I wasn't there for that night. But I heard,
Do you know who else wasn't there?
Who?
Me. I didn't go.
Oh, this is it. This is perfect. Because
You didn't know
this was your responsibility. You were getting paid a lot of money for, and you piece
Here's the
of
story.
shit. Wow.
Here's the story.
Oh my God, this works out so perfectly.
They reached out to me about doing this show. Me and JoJo went down there. We met with them. They had this like elaborate like warehouse with all these like Day of Dead like giant like 20-foot like boat floats.
So this was like the day after or the 2 days after Halloween thing that they do.
That's when the show was going to be, but we met them beforehand.
Yeah.
So they were going to do the show
because they do this huge thing in Fort Lauderdale
Right.
with like it draws like 500,000 people to downtown Fort Lauderdale for this thing.
Right.
It's big.
Right. So they did the okay. So we go there and they say they want to do this show and they want us to like they're going to pay us to do this show. So we're like, okay, we agree on like I don't know, like $2,500, right? So they give me the $2,500 and we're going to do this show on November 1st. It's the day after Halloween. But on like 2 days before Halloween, which we had met with them like a week prior, 2 days before Halloween, I got a phone call for my job interview for the current job I had. And they're like, we need you to interview on November 1st. And I was like, oh no, this is a problem. And they're like, the interview is November 1st. I took a red-eye flight from Charlotte to Fort Lauderdale because I was out of town. I was on vacation. So my goal was to fly back for Day of the Dead. But then it all got thrown around. So I was in Charlotte for Halloween. I took a red-eye flight back to Fort Lauderdale to do the job interview, but I had to go back to Charlotte because I left my kids there with family.
Right.
So I couldn't stay for the Day of the Dead show. I let JoJo run the show. I took my cut. I gave JoJo his cut, and I said whatever's left, just pay the guys with. But I wasn't there, so he had to deal with everybody being pissed about the pay, not me. So I didn't even go. I took the payday and never even went.
Well, hold on. Now here's the question. The question. They pay? You said they paid you $2,500, right?
Yeah.
Who'd you rented the ring from someone?
Yeah, from Israel.
How much was that? Like
$250.
$250. Okay, $250 for that. So how much did you guys allot for paying the boys?
Listen, I took $1,000. I don't know what happened after that.
So, hold on a second. If your cut was $1,000 and you were splitting it with JoJo and he was getting $1,000, that would leave $500.
He took like $500.
Well, hold on a second.
Right.
Theoretically, because
Right.
after even if JoJo took $500 and the ring rental was $250, that's still not a ton of money for the boys. But I have a feeling they were complaining about the payday for the boys because JoJo took the same cut you did.
Well, no, because he gave like Hudak he gave Hudak a good sum of money and Alex, I think, and then everybody else got about what was left. Like he took care of Hudak for sure.
Yeah, but
I know that. I remember.
But what is taking care of these guys for this show? What was that?
It was like $100, but Hudak. It was like $100, but Hudak Hudak, um, he like got super super drunk and couldn't even function. So I don't even think he worked.
Yeah. Hudak did that for me one time. We had a cosplay wrestling function at the Irish bar downtown.
Right,
That was the night
right.
of the day that he caught his best friend cheating with
What's
his
her name?
girlfriend. What was her name?
I forgot her name.
Jenny Fee. Fee.
Jenny Fee. Right,
Remember,
right.
she
right.
was trouble, and
Right.
we all got that vibe from her. Because remember that we hung out with her
Yes, we did.
that one time that I was ducking
Right.
photos when Jackie was on a warpath. So
Right, right.
he showed up to this event and drank a whole bottle of Jack while we were at this event. Because Jenny went to me afterwards, said, "Here's the tab," and I said, "I thought we got free drinks." She said, "You do," but he drank a whole bottle of fucking Jack.
Wow.
Yeah, he drank an entire bottle of Jack that night, and then came back with us to the clubhouse bar. Drank for like another 3 hours with like Frank Stone and I don't know who else was there babysitting him, maybe maybe Dee Dee and whatever. And then they were like off. Hudak had convinced them to go drive to go slash that guy's tires. So I was like, all right, well, go have fun, guys.
Right, like I'm not taking part in that.
Well, I for sure, but it was what an insane night. It was an insane night. So okay, yeah. So that was perfect. You weren't even there for the show you took responsibility for and got paid $1,000 for, and you guys only booked like, but you like I'm right. You guys only booked like enough people for like 3 matches and then just doubled up and had them wrestle again, right?
In like masks or something. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah. I heard all about it. I think I heard from Chuck, and I think I heard from, it might have been Hudak or Al. I think I was still friendly with Al at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. They that was just, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah,
so I don't know what happened.
Paid the most and did the least. Typical
me.
Typical working relationship with you, that's for sure.
Well, it's funny. This is a story I was going to tell. Segue. So talk about doing little work and getting paid. One time, me and Eric were driving to a show. Greg the Hammer Valentine was the main event, and it was for Rusty, and it was like in Fort Myers. So we had like a 2.5 hour drive. Well, halfway through the drive, we get pulled over. And we're late as anyway. Like, we're so late. Like, we were like gonna pull up. We called Rusty and he said, "You literally gonna get here, so dress in the car because you're gonna get here and you're gonna have to like get in the ring." So it was one of those fair deals, So
yeah,
we drive and we get pulled over, and it's like the only time we didn't have weed on us. It was the only time. Like, we had nothing on us because we were in a rush and we didn't have anything. So we obviously, the guy, he fucking searches the car. But in the middle of, now we're really late. And in the middle of searching, he realizes that I'm in wrestling gear. And he's like, "What the hell is going on?" So we explained to him, "Listen, we are supposed to go on Greg the Hammer Valentine." The guy's like, "Greg the Hammer Valentine?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Holy shit." We're like, "Yeah, it's at the fairgrounds." And so he's like, all right. He's like, "You guys have nothing on you?" We're like, "We don't have anything on us. We gotta go." So he was like, all right. Doesn't give us a ticket.
That might be the first time in the history of wrestling that
Greg the
name dropping Greg the Hammer Valentine got you somewhere.
right. So he was like, "Okay," so he goes, "You guys are only like a couple exits away." And we're like, "Oh crap." And like, we're late. Like, so like, I'm on the phone with Rusty and he's like, "Jesus Christ, you motherfuckers." He's going crazy. So the cop says, "I'm going to do you a solid. Follow me." He turns the lights on and gets us to the exit. So he gets us there faster. So he's like, "Just speed behind me."
You got the police escort.
He gives us at the exit. Like, we get off the exit. He gives us the like thanking us. It was all because he said, "Greg the Hammer Valentine." I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I wish I wasn't working. Like, he was ecstatic that
You
the Hammer was on this show.
you got better treatment than if your wife was in labor next to you in the car.
Right, because of Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Right.
So we get to the show, and Rusty's like, God damn it. He's like, we went past your match. You missed the match. We had a substitute. He's like berating us, like going, and he goes, you got to do the battle royal at the end. So we stay for the end. Like, Greg the Hammer Valentine goes over, and then we start a battle royal. We literally got in the ring, got thrown out of the ring, and Rusty, the promoter, was like, Rusty was the promoter, but there was like the fair still paid us like the $150. We didn't even wrestle. We literally got in the ring. We were laughing, and Greg the Hammer was fucking hammered, literally, and we were dying laughing. And I think we eliminated ourselves like over the top. And Rusty gave us the payday still. Yeah. So talk about not doing any work.
Well, you still showed up, you know.
Right. And we literally had to turn around and go right back home.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to. You could have hung out at the fair.
You ever been to one of those fucking fairs?
Yeah,
you get your mind.
You get one of those delicious bacon cheeseburgers between two Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, no, wasn't a good fair.
Wow.
So no,
not like the Dade Fair down here that FCW did all those years with
No.
What was the shady promoter that put those on that almost had
Bill Brown?
No, was going to have the fake show with Jackie was involved with.
Oh, yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah. That guy's a total scumbag.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot his name. There's my contribution to the podcast today. I had one story.
That's terrible.
That's
I thought you had two.
That's all I got.
You said that didn't mind you 2 stories.
Yeah. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what are you doing?
My headphone died too. What a fucking shit show this is.
Oh, it sounds different now for sure.
Hold on. Let's see here.
No, it sounds fine. It sounds better.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. We all hear you.
All right, better?
Yeah, better.
Anyway, my second story, I don't know why this sparked my memory here, but was the time we were in Davie and Jake the Snake was on the show. And I'm in the bathroom, but it's like the public bathroom where like everybody goes, like not wrestlers.
Wait,
and I'm in there.
This was Jake the Snake.
The Roberts.
Yeah. I understand Jake the Snake Roberts. There's only one Jake the Snake, but this was like bad Jake the Snake or passable Jake the Snake. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was like bad Jake the Snake.
Okay.
By the way, Billy Fives just sent me and you a text message of food.
Yeah, I just my phone was buzzing. Yeah. I didn't look at it.
So Jake the Snake was in the bathroom, but it was like the public bathroom where like all the people, like, not just the wrestlers, but like all the people go. And he was my dad came out of the bathroom, and my dad's like, I'm pretty sure Jake the Snake is in the stall, and like something's going on. I'm like, what? So I go in there. Jake is in the stall, the bathroom stall, and he's punching the stall door from the inside, and he's like, like making all these noises, and I was like, what the fuck? And my dad was like just blown away. He's like, there's something wrong with him. He opens the stall door. He's got his pants like around his knees, like, but his underwear, his like whitey tighties on, and he comes stumbling out like fucking. He was hammered, like coked up or something. He took like 2 steps out. He just stopped. He looked at me. He's like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I was like, "Nothing, sir." And I'm in my gear, so I'm on the show. I'm like, "Nothing, sir, nothing." So like I keep washing my hands, like,
what the fuck are you looking at?
Right, and I'm washing my hands, like I'm washing my hands, but I'm looking down, but I could feel him just staring at me, like he was literally, like, just staring at me. His pants were down around his ankle. He was just staring at me around his knees.
Yeah,
and I felt him looking at me, and I just kept washing my hands. Like my hands were done being washed, but I didn't want to stop and look up at him. Like I didn't want to look up at him and be like, because he already told me, what the fuck are you looking at? So I just kept washing, and he just picked up his pants and he like mumbled something to himself, and he just opened the door and he walked out, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I almost died. So like I dried my hands off, And I go back in the back, and now I'm like, this is awkward because like I'm gonna see him again. There's no doubt, right? Like we're gonna make eye contact, and I'm like, trying to avoid him because I didn't really want to. Like I didn't want to fuck with this guy. Like he's out of his mind, and like the night goes through, and a couple times I kind of walk past him, and eventually one time he looks at me and he goes, he's just like one of those like with his mustache. He laughed by his mustache. He had the big mustache, and he's like, ah. And I just looked at him, and he was like, I was fucking with you, right? I said, no, man, honestly, I thought you were serious. He's like, how long did you wash your hands for? I said, I didn't want to look up at you. I thought you were going to kill me. He's like, I was fucking with you. I was like, oh my God, I thought I was going to die. Yeah.
That's a great story. That's tremendous. That's a good rib.
He thought, I thought I was young. I didn't know. Like, I was freaked out. I was like, he's going to fucking punch me or like, yeah, he was fucking with me. He did that little mustache, and he was like, I was just fucking with you. He's like, how long did you wash your hands for? I was like, till you walked out that door. And I was like, oh, shit. He's like, Yeah, he got me. So
that's tremendous.
Yeah. Tremendous.
Jackie had I guess while they were at some show on the road or something.
Right.
Back in the day, at the hotel afterwards, apparently he got really fucking wasted and was like just hanging out with some of the people, in those in the comfortable chairs in like the lobby area, not like in the bar area, but and he was just talking all kinds of shit and cutting, like talking some real shit on people, and Jackie apparently like got it all on. He had like a big not a big camcorder, but a camcorder that took like video cassettes or something, not the full size ones, but the mini ones. And he's had that tape in that machine, that camera ever since. He never used the camera again, and we never converted it to another format, and I think the camera doesn't work anymore. So I have no idea. I'm curious if that tape exists somewhere. I'd love to go to a shop and have it converted, because he was he was in rare form.
Yeah, he was fucked up. He was fucking with me, but he was not. He was in another dimension at that time. He was not even in this dimension.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, he was in another world. Yeah. So there's my two contributions today. I got nothing else.
You're garbage. You're
I told two solid stories.
You're good. Yeah.
These are top-notch stories.
You're garbage with legs today. That's all I gotta say. You're
great stories though. Great content.
You're walking, talking garbage. So
yeah.
That reminded me though of peeing next to people famous that we talked about the last time. Was that it reminded me, because you were stall next,
right,
Jake the Snake and all that, your dad being in there with him, that I once at the War Memorial during an ECW show, beforehand though, I went to go pee and didn't even look to see. I had to pee so bad I wasn't even paying attention who was at the stalls until I finished, and as I'm walking away from the stall, I catch all this color in the corner of my eye. Just these bright colors, and I kind of turned back to look at the urinals again, and it's RVD in his gear, he just full knee pads, those airbrushed fucking singlet things he wore. He was just he was he was gonna go wrestle in 20 seconds, but he had to pee first. So he
that's funny.
So he ran all the way to the. Because I guess that's
pisser. That was the only pisser there.
There's no bathrooms in the back,
are there?
Wasn't. Yeah.
Nope, there was not.
That's funny.
No.
So, yeah, that reminded me of that.
Good story. Well, let's see, 3 good stories today. We're good.
Calm down. You look at you like.
Well, I got it. I'm trying. I got a lot of things. This
is a guy wondering if he's answered enough questions just to get a passable grade, so he can get the fuck out of class. Yeah, I mean, you're not.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not.
You're not wrong.
You're not.
Yeah. I gotta go next game. I gotta go to next game.
Yeah, but you said you gave me 6:30 as the time to call you.
Right. We're good now. We did 30 minutes. People are happy.
Listen, Nick the Dick.
3 good stories.
If Nick the Dick was late for a game, it wouldn't matter anyways. They still suck. He still sucks.
Yes, this is true.
Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why you have, like, this is the thing you have professionalism for, is getting Nick to his games on time. Of all the fucking things for you to be a professional about. Not the podcast, not your fucking, like, something you got paid $2,500 to do. You know, Mr. Work from Home here. I mean, come on. You're fucking, you're terrible. Yeah.
Well, that's all I got.
I know I think this podcast now got the title changed to That's All I Got, because that's what you said the most. That's what you said the most on this thing. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. All right, that's all I've got. That's all I've got.
I'll come next week with more.
Next week.
Next podcast.
You say that, and
Christmas Eve podcast.
Hang you. Is that Christmas Eve? Is Friday? Yeah, Friday is Christmas Eve. Oh.
I'll come with some good stories.
Yeah,
I don't have time.
Well, we'll both have fresh stories from having celebrated Festivus,
right? For the rest of us
on Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
All right, fat useless piece of shit.
Good stories. All right, that's all I got.
I think me and Billy are going to do the Christmas podcast because I don't.
Oh shit!
I don't trust.
Invite him on. Fuck that guy.
Which is it? Invite him on or fuck that guy?
Both.
Okay.
All right.
All right, fatty.
Goodbye.
Go tell Nick to suck some eggs.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.